With modern games like The Last of Us and The Elder Scrolls constantly pushing the limit of what we expect from characters in video games, it's pretty easy to forget about some of the less remembered ones. Well, that is, until today. Welcome to Trending 10. And today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst voice acting in video games that we've ever seen. Ready for the cringe? Good. Let's begin. Number 10. Mega Man 8. Kicking off our list is this installment in the epic platforming franchise, Mega Man 8. This game was one of the first in the series to try and incorporate anime-style cutscenes alongside the gameplay to make the story feel deeper. But good God, the voice work is just painful. There are multiple instances throughout the campaign that the voice actors even make mistakes, and no one bothered to re-record them. But despite the horrible voice acting, the game itself is actually quite good. So at least Capcom has that going for them.
You must recover all the energy immediately, Mega Man.
But where is Dr. Wily?
That's a good question. We may be able to locate another energy emission from the radar room.
Number 9. Two Worlds. This one is pretty recent, but pretty awful. Released in 2007, Two Worlds is a fantasy RPG with a medieval vibe to it, sort of like Oblivion. Now, this could have been a cool game, but aside from the bad graphics and clunky controls, Two Worlds also had all of its voice work recorded by the developers rather than actual voice actors. And believe me, it shows. The deliveries are insanely overacted, and the recording quality is also very, very low, as if they recorded them in an abandoned warehouse rather than a studio. Needless to say, this game got hammered when it came out, and it's no surprise that most people don't even remember that it exists.
Here. The village elder sent me. He wanted me to bring you the payment should you not return to the village.
And why should I not go back there, pray?
Some people came to Cormoran when you left. They asked for you.
Number 8. 50 Cent, Bulletproof. I bet you forgot this game existed. After rapper 50 Cent is shot, he goes on a quest for revenge that leads him to conflict with armed gangs as he blasts through them while listening to his own music. And yeah, this game, the premise of it is just dumb. But it seems as if 50 Cent himself wasn't even that interested in the game, as most of his lines are delivered so painfully that it's almost like he's bored of shooting gangsters half the time. In case you needed extra reasons not to play this game, the voice acting can definitely be added to your list.
Who the fuck am I? Hello? Hello?
Damn, 50. I just fixed up one of your soldiers last week. Of course, he didn't come in with 9 bullet holes.
Doc, how'd I get here?
Your boys brought you in here 3 days ago. Half dead, if not more.
Number 7. Far Cry 3. Now, we're not saying this game has bad voice acting, but we are saying that it should have been and could have been way better. For a game that came out after so many great story-driven games, the developers should have known that the standards of voice acting were a lot higher than they used to be. With dry delivery and bland reactions from characters, it can be hard to really get into the game at times, which is a shame because it's actually pretty darn good. Oh well.
Volker is the boss of a very good friend of yours, Voss. He also happens to run the largest slave trading ring in the South Pacific. On top of that, he grows drugs.
Number 6. Mortal Kombat 4. Sure, you may not play the classic Mortal Kombat games for the story. Hell, you probably don't even play the modern Mortal Kombat games for the story. But that doesn't mean that the production value for Mortal Kombat 4's story mode is justified. I guess the developers knew that no one really cared about the story mode and simply decided to throw it together in a couple of hours, because the delivery for most of the lines is, well, just wow. With an awkward script to a lifeless delivery and many lines that are obviously pitch shifted to make them sound darker or more evil, you know, sort of like this. We're just thankful that Mortal Kombat has since started taking their single-player offerings a little bit more seriously.
It's over, Jarek. Shinnok is dead. The good guys won. You're coming back with me.
Never, Sonya. I agreed to help defeat Shinnok, not turn myself into the Special Forces. The Black Dragon, live on!
Number 5. Shadow the Hedgehog. Another game that you probably forgot existed. This third-person shooter, yes, third-person shooter, was meant to show off the darker side of the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, as the player took control of Shadow as he battles monsters and aliens and shoots through policemen. The Sonic games have never been known for having good voice acting, and perhaps it's the forced darkness and absurd script of Shadow the Hedgehog that makes this particular game stand out. But good God, the voice acting in the game is just bad. A perfect blend of painful delivery and stupid writing, Shadow the Hedgehog is definitely a low point in the Sonic franchise.
Now that was sweet, Shadow.
Yeah, well, I'm not here to save you.
Thought you might say something like that. How about a little friendly competition?
Don't waste my time.
Number 4. Resident Evil. The game that revolutionized the survival horror genre and launched one of the biggest names in gaming, the original Resident Evil still lives down in gaming history as one of the scariest games ever made. With all the remakes released since the original, the GameCube version, the Xbox version, the PS4 version, etc., it's often forgotten that the original voice acting in this classic was so very atrocious, as most every remake features re-recordings of the dialogue, likely in an effort to get people to forget. But gamers never forget Capcom. The voice acting and overall method acting in the original Resident Evil games is awful, and it likely could have been number 1 if the game itself wasn't so darn good. You dodged a bullet this time, Resident Evil.
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
What is it?
Number 3. The Legend of Zelda, The Wand of Gamelon. Oh God. Why does this game even exist? These Zelda spin-offs for the CDI have really just become memes, and that's really all they're good for. Aside from being awful and completely unnecessary games, the voice acting and script in these games is equally as bad. We don't know whose idea it was to make Link sound so obnoxious, and slightly creepy for that matter, but it was a very bad idea. I think the entire gaming world just prefers Link when all he's saying is, "Tiat? What?" or something like that. Nintendo, please never go back to this style of Zelda game. Ever.
What happened?
Nothing, Link. We were just about to have a feast.
Great!
Number 2. Chaos Wars. This tactical RPG was released for the PlayStation 2 in 2008, well after the PS3 had come out, which could definitely contribute as to why you don't remember it. But another reason why is probably the fact that this game sounds like it was recorded for $20. No, seriously, it sounds like the scriptwriters were just reading off their first drafts at the coffee table. Remember when you were in 3rd grade and your teacher made a group of kids come up to the front of class and read lines from a book? That's what this game feels like.
Now I think I've got my head around this different dimensions business, but how do I get back to Tokyo?
What's Tokyo?
The world I came from. How do I get back to where I came from?
And finally, number 1. House of the Dead 2. Finishing off our list is the sequel to the arcade classic, and really an arcade classic in its own right, House of the Dead 2. Where do we even start with this one? There's not really much we can say about this game that you didn't already expect to hear from us, so we're just gonna let you listen to some clips. Enjoy.
I've been waiting for you, friends.
Goldman! Do you know what you're doing?
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. Can't you see? Man committed a sin, disturbing the life cycle of nature. The original sin that man is responsible to. To protect the life cycle, I have made a creature to rule over mankind. This is the final battle. Show yourself, our new ruler, the Emperor.
But alright, that's it for our list of the 10 video games with the absolute worst of the worst voice acting. Know of any other terrible voice acted games? Be sure to let us know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe for more great content. But alright, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching Trending 10, your guide to what's viral right now.